Kim, what are you drinking?
I got Cali here.
Wow, that's a prodigious mug.
Yeah, a lot of us are sitting here drinking our Cali.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Some of us like to have pretty cups like this, you see.
All right.
It isn't quite as pretty, but it works good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. Strong too.
You need big cups. Big cups.
Yeah, they're not little cups. They're all big. Is everybody drinking cups like this?
Yeah.
Everybody hold up their cups at the same time.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
You need to be
Cheers.
Randy.
What? I haven't got it. Okay. I'll just mind.
And don't forget your record button.
Yeah. No, it's recording.
No, yesterday morning, in the first hour, we made 6 pots of Cali because everybody drinks the big cups. We emptied out, 6 pots I made before we even made anything else.
You'll get that.
Okay, everyone can see that. And welcome, everyone. My name is Randy Fritz. This is one of our much-loved Lovers of Sunrider support meetings. And we will have a few people. I've got a few slides to throw up so people can talk a little bit about that. But we really do want everyone to participate. So if you have an idea or whatever, or a question, be sure to keep it, and we're happy to share all we can. So when I started Sunrider, I was weak and had no energy. And I started eating New Plus and Cali, and I started feeling these surges of energy in my body like I hadn't felt since a teenager. Now, some people would say, you're just making this all up. It's all in your mind. So I thought we'd talk about that a little bit, because the truth is the mind is very powerful, and I totally appreciate that. But you don't need just the mind to benefit from Sunrider. So here's a slide that Trish is going to talk about. You can unmute, Trish.
Thanks, Randy. 2 of my favorite subjects, animals and Sunrider. And those are little Bichon Frise puppies. We had Bichons for many, many years. They're delightful. They're non-shedding. They love everybody. They're the perfect little dog as far as I'm concerned. So we were introduced to Sunrider almost 30 years ago. It'll be 30 years next December. And we were a little skeptical about what it could do for us. But we had a champion show dog, Bichon Frise, and we had been trying to get her pregnant for 2.5 years. And the vet said her uterus had failed and couldn't support life. And so we thought, we'll try it. And we fed her a few of the basic foods. And she went on to have 3 litters of puppies. And at $500 a pop, wow, it was awesome. We were able to buy a lot of the Sunrider foods. We love working with animals, and I think, Randy, you made it clear that a lot of people think that, you're feeling better because it's all in your head. But animals don't know what it is that they're eating or what they're being fed. They just take it in and they get really healthy. So that was an interesting. We worked with a lot of different animals. One, Barb is probably familiar with Nettie Hildebrandt. I think it was her daughter in Steinbach out here in Manitoba was breeding Irish setters, and she had this champion male that she wanted to get another litter for him to sire another litter so she could keep one of the puppies because he had really good not genes, whatever you want to call it, and was producing beautiful Irish setters. But he was 14 years old and he could not sire puppies anymore. So they put him on a little bit of the Sunrider foods, and at the age of 14 he sired another litter, and they were able to keep a puppy from that and continue the bloodline. So there's many good stories. I think our favorite client of all was our friend Bailey, and I don't know if you can see Bailey or not. He's also a Bichon, and our neighbors down the street had him. He was 8 years old. He had really, really bad allergies and arthritis. He couldn't get up the stairs anymore, couldn't jump on the bed, very lethargic. He had a cyst on his tummy the size of a marble, and the doctors wanted to remove that, but they just had done surgery on him. He had a patella luxation, which is a hip thing, cost them $800. And I said, well, you know what? We have something that might help. So we gave them a bunch of used cali leaves. And in 4 days, the little guy is racing around the house, throwing his toys. By day 11, the cyst is gone. And within 3 months, all of his allergies and arthritis had cleared up. And he went on to live to the ripe old age of 17 years old. So there's so much value with the Sunrider foods. It's just really good food. And humans and animals both need better nutrition. And that's really what Sunrider is. So we decided, well, sure, if it's working for our dog, then it's going to work for us too. So we started eating it. I've been a type 1 diabetic now for 54 years. And when our son was born, my eyes were hemorrhaging, my kidneys technically failed, and I had a non-functioning digestive system where I would actually find me passed out in the bathroom floor from the pain of going to the bathroom. And I craved like crazy. I had terrible candida overgrowth and always struggled with my weight. And I had carpal tunnel, I had trigger finger. I just wasn't in a very, very good shape. The doctor said I wasn't going to live long enough to see our boys grow up. So I thought, what the heck? I've tried so many other things. I'm going to try these foods. And everything changed. Everything changed. And lost all my cravings. I went from 143 pounds down to 115 pounds. And the whole family got so much healthier just by eating really good food. So yeah, we've been very, very pleased with it. The nice thing is, to be able to share it with others. When you get this kind of amazing change in your life, people want to know what you're doing. So we told them, and Ray accidentally ended up with a really good business too, and he was able to retire at the age of 55. We traveled the world for free, and Sunrider has just been the most amazing gift that we've ever received. Thank you, Barb. And one thing lately I started on VitaTaste. Now VitaTaste, with the Slim Fast Challenge, or the Slim Challenge that Sunrider is doing, I thought, well, I'll try VitaTaste and see what happens. And it's made a big difference for my morning blood sugars. I would go to bed with perfect blood sugars, but I would wake up with high blood sugars. I don't know, some fluctuation during the night. And now with VitaTaste, two twice a day, I'm only taking 4 a day, and I'm going to bed with great blood sugars, and I'm waking up with great blood sugars. So anyway,
Okay.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Trish. Here, I have a picture of you and your family. It's a very, very old one.
Oh yeah, that's our girls and our boys.
And here's you recently, Trish. You and Ray have done the SunFit. No, not the SunFit Challenge. What's the workout?
Yeah, Fitness Brigade. Actually, we have been doing it. It will be in May. It'll be 5 years. We love the Fitness Brigade. We've done it right from day one, and I love the Sunrider foods that have given the energy to us to do this. But yeah, we love it.
You look very fit there. Okay.
We actually feel guilty if we don't do our Fitness Brigade, if we skip a day or whatever.
Oh, good. Okay. So what's this? I think, Anne, I asked Anne to talk about a specific thing because we were talking to a new person, and she had this very interesting way of talking about the Sunrider foods.
Well, Randy, you mentioned at the end of our conversation with this gal, I just said, one of the reasons that I have stuck with Sunrider for so long is at deep down in my heart, I am just a really lazy person when it comes to nutrition. And so the Sunrider foods make my life very easy. So what I did at home quickly before I was getting on a plane the next day was do a little demonstration of the different ways that Sunrider makes my life really easy. So when I am out and about, as the Americans think I'm saying. I'm in California, by the way. So when I'm out and about and I don't have water or juice or anything with me, and I get a little hungry, I will pull my New Plus. I always try to keep VitaTaste, or not VitaTaste, VitaShake or New Plus in my bag with me. And it's just a great quick snack, and I know that I'm getting the best possible nutrition. And we're venturing into Mexico tomorrow, and I know that it could be iffy eating there, so I'll have lots of New Plus with me there. So that's I'm lazy, so this is the absolute simplest way to get really good nutrition into your body. So that's one way.
Okay, I have one more, isn't it?
So, and this is just me being lazy, sitting in my favorite spot with my favorite, that is my power drink that I do in the morning. It's my Quinery with Fortune Delight cinnamon and a little bit of Sun Care in it. So that's my favorite spot.
Yeah, like the idea comes up that if you walk into a health food store, there will be hundreds and thousands of bottles there, and it becomes very complicated very quickly. And I know because many of my friends work in the health food store business, and they just actually have hundreds of different bottles, and I didn't even know how they keep track of them all. And it's very, very difficult. And then if you're trying to cook, well, or if you're trying to eat organic and buying organic and doing all that stuff, it ends up to be a lot of work, and it ends up to be very costly. And so Sunrider simplifies that amazingly, and it's inexpensive. On this thing of laziness, I wanted to show you this picture. Does anybody know? Can anybody guess what this is? Anybody?
It looks like raisin toast, but I'm not sure.
Raisin toast to me, Randy.
Okay, no. This is a lazy man's dessert. This is toast with just Sun Care dropped on it. Like it takes exactly like whatever toast takes, you can't even count that because you're not. And then you just drop Sun Care on it. And Sun Care is, I was going to ask you this, Trish. You being a diabetic, is there any foods that interfere with your blood sugars? Like Sun Care or Sun Bars or anything like that?
Not at all, not at all. The Sun Care, well, since I started on Sunrider, I was taking about 50 units of insulin pre-Sunrider, and now I'm between 15 and 20 units a day. So I think the foods in general, but I really think the Sun Care has really helped stabilize my blood sugar, saved me a lot of money in medication too. Yeah, and the Sun Bars only, and Trudy would say the same thing with rye, but Sun Bars only have 2 grams of sugar. A large carrot has 3.4 grams of sugar. So you're getting more sugar out of a carrot than you are getting out of a Sun Bar. And the fiber really helps to stabilize my blood sugar, doesn't raise it at all. So I highly recommend Sun Bars for diabetics.
Okay, cool. So the theme is sort of unusual eating habits or something like that today. So Diana, what's going on here?
Okay, I just unmuted. Well, I'm not one to drink my New Plus. I mean, I could eat it out of the package once in a while, like Anne does. But mostly, what I do in the morning is chop up fruit and mix up my New Plus with some almond milk or coconut milk, or I make a green smoothie first, and then I mix in my New Plus with the green smoothie, and then I chop up fruit afterwards and put it in. And these days I put a little bit, I chop up a few Brazil nuts and put it in, and then hemp seed meal seemed to come out really high for me on my vitality analysis, so I sprinkled some of that on top, and I had this big bowl, and I eat it, and I like eating it. So I don't know why people want to drink their smoothie, their New Plus, but hey, we're all different, I guess, hey? But to me, it's all about eating and not drinking.
Well, they say if you chew stuff like that you'll digest it better.
Well, because the thing is that we have the saliva in our mouth is there for a reason. It has digestive enzymes. So right away we start digesting in here. So if we just let it go right through, it won't digest so well. Now, me coming from a place where I didn't digest my food very well at all, and I was, as some of you know, went down to 94 pounds, which was not good at 5'6". I really learned a lot about digestion, and I know that I want to start the digestion in here. And so if you're going to drink your smoothie, then swish it around in your mouth a bit.
Well, it tastes pretty good, so that's not really a problem. People can.
and Roy just said that chewing is
Chewing is good for your facial muscles. That Diana showed me an article of people who excessively juiced, and what happened was they were starting to, if they say if you don't use it, you lose it. They were starting to, they were actually having to have operations on their jaw because their muscles were deteriorating because they weren't using them enough.
Okay.
So it's good. It's good for that, for smiling.
Good too, yes. So you can smile more then.
Right.
Okay.
I had to go to the bathroom for a second.
Oh, drinking too much Cali.
So what did you say, Randy?
Oh, I just said that you were doing a trade show this last weekend.
Oh, I was. It was so much fun. So this week, I hadn't done a trade show for 15 years, and I decided this was the year. And I've done two. One was in a city about an hour away, Kamloops, and then I just did Salmon Arm, my local town, this weekend. And it was really great because there were so many people that I knew that came by, and I had a chance to talk to them about Sunrider, and then so many customers and people came by that I already knew. It was a great way to see them all, and it was very social. And I was telling Randy, he asked me if there's anything I could share. And I said, well, I got this one really great story. And I made some really great contacts, right? And it's always funny in a trade show because you get the people who come by and they kind of smirk, like they have no idea. And I'm inquisitive, so I'm asking questions and things always. I learn not to assume. And anyways, and then you get the people who come right in, they go, what is this? But anyways, one of my gals that I've been working on for a while, a dear friend, and she really is excited because she did a bite taste and she really realized just how real Sunrider is when you come through an experience like that Dr. Chen knows what he's doing to pull that off. And anyway, so she's been talking to this other guy who really has a lot of health things going on, and he reminds me a lot of Don Rowe. He's just really, he's really talkative, and he's just a really cool guy, and he owns a business. So anyways, the one gal asked me, she goes, Jim, I really need you to talk to this guy. I'm going to drag him over here and you need to talk to him because he is feeling terrible. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, just make it happen. And then this other gal shows up about 2 hours later, one of my long-term customers. And she's got this guy by the arm and she's dragging him over. And she says to him, she goes, this guy saved my life about 15 years ago with this stuff. You need to listen to him. And he's like, okay. And anyways, we had a great talk. Well, then other guys were coming around and they all kind of had big bellies and whatnot. And it was just so funny. This guy was keeping them all entertained. And it's just, Sunrider is just so great. It's just getting that idea through that it's just food. It's not a cure. It's not a magic pill. It's nothing like that. It's a lifestyle where you start making the right choices and you start putting foods in your body that make a difference. Well, this guy, he came back at least 5 or 6 times, at least, by the end of the show. He's so you're coming to see my wife and I, right? And he'd already talked to his wife and she's in and they're in Kamloops, as it turns out. And he's like, so you're coming. And he gets in so it's Wednesday morning, 10:30. You're going to be there, right? You're coming for sure, right? He's so excited. And anyways, it's just so fun to come across people who just get it.
Right. Yeah. No. Once people really understand what we mean when we talk about regeneration, it's sort of no turning back because almost everything else on the market, like Bonnie said last week, she's in a health food store with all those things. You said very few of those products are actually regenerative. They're usually fixing up little gaps or little imbalances here and there, but they don't regenerate the body.
Yeah, and this guy'd been through enough stuff to realize like he needed to start from scratch because everything he was doing wasn't working.
Right. Now, is Dale Swanson there yet? I see him on.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay,
Dale.
well then, I can't get a
Dale.
picture through on my phone, but at least you can hear me.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm going to try to bring up your picture here, Dale. Oopsie.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Oopsie.
that looks nice.
There we
Oh,
go.
almost. There we are. Okay. There you go.
So I asked Dale to say a few words because he's working with the Slim Down Challenge, and he's been quite successful, and he's just a great guy.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Randy. So yes, I've been, I guess, a quiet behind-the-scenes participant. I haven't never actually sent in my photo or measurements. I've sent them to Randy, but I've been continuing on. I'm in this is the start of week 8 of my Slim Down Challenge. And up to date, I've lost a little over 15 pounds and 3 inches off of my waist. And it just feels absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
And I've also enjoyed Fitness Brigade from time to time. I let it go for a little while, and then I go into the last CDs, and I go into the last set, and I do it gentle for a few days and get right back up there. And I'm always surprised how quickly, when you got Sunrider in your body, how quickly your body can recover and start participating with that. But I think halfway through the Slim Down Challenge, the first month, it was just, watching diet and so forth. And then I had gotten, for Christmas, my wife thought, you should have a bottle of these newfangled action caps from the States. So I thought, after I had been on the Slim Down Challenge for a month, I thought, well, I'm committed to eating this way. I've made it through letting go of a bunch of starchy carbs in my diet, and I'm willing to try these. So I did, and it seemed to plateaued a bit at the 1 month, and then adding in the action caps, things are continuing to move along. And as I say, from the 10 pounds at the month, I'm now up to about 15 pounds or so, now nearing the end of this month. So quite excited about the use of those action caps, enough that I'm, after I'm done the call here, I'm ordering some from the States. So there you go. I'm quite committed to those. And then now, I guess, as we're moving into spring here, we just had our first campfire outside in our backyard there. And our favorite thing to do is some Cali tea and some lemons squished in there and a little squirt of Suncare Plus. And that's our favorite drink for our whole family all summer and spring. So we're just getting into that season. So fun time to be part of Sunrider.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Dale. We've also been, Dale was agreed to be our guinea pig too. We don't really have anything definite yet, but we've been testing him with vitality analysis to see if, because like everyone is interested in this keto diet. So we're trying to test Dale to see if he actually is producing ketones and stuff like that. But the results of that is coming. So, but we're looking forward to that. So
thanks for your help with that.
Is there any questions that people have?
So Dale, what did you change in your diet?
And I realized I had unconscious habits, and we were out celebrating my daughter. She had done so good in the music festival, and my son Brendan had some fries there. And man, the number of times I had to stop my hand from reaching over to snipe a fry off his plate, it was quite amazing. And so I just, in passing, mentioned to my daughter, well, I suppose I've actually snitched a few fries from you guys, and her nodding was so vigorous, that I guess that's just the habit I have, is sniping fries. So learning how to not snipe fries anymore, and it was really hard that first 3 weeks to let go of the starchy carbs and the underground vegetables. So once I let go of that over those 3 weeks, now it's quite easy to, so upstairs they had friends over with potato chips, and some fell on the counter, and normally I would hoover some of those up, but left them all sitting there, and feeling good about leaving them sitting there. And so now often I'll take some ghee or some avocado oil and fry up, and maybe this will be offensive, but I fry up some broccoli florets, and then I have an avocado and some lemon juice over that, and that's often a meal I'll have now. Or it might be green beans and an avocado, or something of that nature. And so yeah, it's just fun, just totally looking at fresh vegetables.
Okay.
Dale,
Have you tried the Protein Plus, Dale?
What's that? Yes, Simply Herbs. Yeah, I use those for in between meals kind of thing. But when I'm home, I'll cook up the vegetables. But yeah, when I got to go quick, I'll grab a Simply Herbs and.
Okay.
But,
No Protein Plus yet.
no, I haven't been doing the Protein Plus. No,
Okay. Might be.
I haven't really felt that. I haven't felt short of protein, so it's
Okay.
been more of just trying. For me, the big thing in my mind: stop all starchy carbs. And I've made that successful for the last 7 weeks. So now I'll look at other things. So for me, my goal is to stay rigorous on this way of eating until I've gotten down to my goals, and then at that point, look at being more flexible with what I'm eating, but knowing that whatever I'm doing, it's going to be way more vegetables than I've eaten in the past, and I think that's probably a good diet thing. And so part of this whole diet is a moratorium on any added sugar. I'm sure all of you agree with that. And some good fats and oils, I think those are good for us. So.
and I just wanted to comment, Dale, how impressed I am with your diet. Because you're doing it right. You're doing it mostly vegetables with a little bit of protein. So good for you, Dale.
Yeah, that is good that you're using so many vegetables. I agree.
Oh, thank you for your support. That's really fun, and I'm looking forward to later today grabbing broccoli florets. This is maybe doesn't mean much to you guys, but it's unusual for me. I've got a bag of broccoli florets. I'm going to break those up, and I'm going to fry them up with a bit of ghee or some avocado oil, and I'm going to love eating those. I just love it. So it's just sort of fun to actually love vegetables.
Okay. So we're getting close to the end of our time. I thank everybody for coming. There's been several requests to have this on a Saturday, so we're looking very closely at that now. But we will try to maintain these certainly for the month of May, and we hope to see you back here, whenever it is. So thank you for attending, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, everybody. It was awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See y'all.
Bye-bye.